Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Anyone out there? Hello? Hello? I'm all alone. Help! Right. So, today is your topic day. It'll be good. It'll be interesting. So, still cyberpunk. Still, I guess something you can do or be. I think that'll be good. Let's do some practices. Circle. My circle game is weak. Oh shit. Let's see here. Oh, no one wants to play with me today. Everyone is too busy. I see. Alright, I see. I see. Okay, okay, okay. If that's how you want to play. Sure, sure. Sure, okay, okay. I'm not mad. I'm not mad, bro. Interesting. It's gonna be an interesting then if no one shows up on this stream, because everyone so far, it's always been people. Alright. No one is showing up. Then it's comfort zone. Then I will design something on my own. Artist choice, I guess. Then let's start the timer. Let's do it. So, cyberpunk artist choice. I will design police robot. Let's start with line art and let's do it. Let's try this way of doing a design today. Go straight to final line art and just try to do the design that way. And let's see if I can get the pose down as I see it. No, that's wrong start. How do I actually see it standing? I'm definitely gonna. I love the way the robots looked in Elysium. It's a really cool look. Like the way that they were humanoid, but not. Obviously, it's Aaron Beck, right? He designed them, most likely, if I'm not mistaken. It looks very Aaron Becky. But they're cool. Like this aspect is really nice. So that's something I'm gonna try to lean on, but we'll see. Oh, my chat is working. Chat is broken. Everyone is typing.
Oh, great Odin's raven!
Hey. You donated it just to be able to say chat is broken. Alright. Weird. I wonder why it's broken. Oh. Let me then open the chat. There we go. Örjan. Yeah, that's dedication. Awesome. Hey guys. Now I can see people posting words. OBS was bugged. That's odd. Anyways. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, the screen, like here, you see? This is an OBS, and there's nothing happening. So I was like, that's a bit odd. Azelin, Ixi, Morphia, Japabo, Mila, Lurib, Algani, Jacob Mobley, Arian, thank you all. And thank those who on Discord pinged me. Anyways, let's continue. Orion, yeah. Don't know what OBS is doing. It's misbehaving for sure. But, anyways. Let's continue the adventure of Artist Choice, also known as a police robot. Hey Amir, hey Slow Wonder, how's it going? So as I kind of saw it, he almost stood like a very strong. This is going to be weird, but that analogy I drew in my head was concentration camp frame type thing, you know? Like the police robot isn't indicating brutal strength. Like it's not a brute force robot. It's more like a police officer, like a meddling robot, or dispute settlement robot, you know. And as I saw it in my head, they had like sprayed graffiti on it, and you know, made fun of it. So what I'm trying to do this time around is, like I said, do final art. Hey, the shoe thief, how's it going? Yeah, Captain Jetlag, exactly. I'm just gonna check people writing. Yeah, graffitied robot. And direct to, like, trying to make the design decisions straight off the bat, without sketching something underneath. Obviously, I'm going to have to redraw segments because as I see it, I'm going to have to second guess the decision, so it becomes more accurate. But I think it's a really hard challenge to do, of committing to something that fast, Algani. But then it becomes, I think, why I don't think that's a good idea. Good idea, but no. What I mean is, if it's going to be something that settles disputes, or like a traffic warden, or things like that, you don't want it to be different than you, right? And then how can you relate to it? There's a robot why. There's a robot why. There's a reason why we design robots. God damn it, brain. Talking about smashing things together there in my head. There's a reason why we design things in the image of us, right? Because we relate to that. They did a lot of tests with AI and software, where they let the software design their own physiology. So they did like evolution with AI of trying to assemble themselves to get from point A to point B. Like, what is the most efficient way the AI could construct something that transported it from point A to point B? And seeing the permutations, the variations of the constructions the AI made to get to point A to point B was absolutely fascinating. And constructing a humanoid shape was the last thing it did. So that just shows that, like, the human form, right, is the human form isn't the optimal solution to a construction in terms of robotics, right? Why would a robot make a human when it's so many aspects in a human form that has to be perfect in order for the robot to be able to move freely like we do, right? Because we have so many microsystems of counterweights and muscles and push and pull and all these things, right? That is constantly working. And for a robot to be able to do that, it has to be so elaborate, right? But making a robot that can walk better, faster than a human, you have to make it not be a human form. So, the long-winded point I was trying to make was that when we're making human robots, it is the image in the image of us in order to relate to it. Whew. So, in the reasoning behind the design decision then of not giving it more than 2 legs is that it removes it from the purpose of the image of us, the relatability to it, like a human robot form, right? Hey Rags JV, good morning. Hey Amir. Well, yeah, well, that's like that's one of the like theories of AI, right? When we create, if we create true AI, a life form. Hey Voodoo Breakfast, how's it going, man? So like the one of the fears is that when we do make a AI, a true AI, the moment, what's the saying, like the moment we connect it to internet, the moment it has a reach outside of its own system, whatever we constructed for its limitations, it's already going to create something better. One of the reasons is like the decisions we are making for an AI is not the ultimate. If you have unlimited computative powers and understanding of your own needs as an AI, you're gonna start altering it, right? Because we, as the creator, like potential creator of an AI, we would only try to make it work, right? We would get it to the point of, okay, a stable functioning entity. But that doesn't mean it's the ultimate version, right? And looking at evolution, what an AI only did with like moving from point A to point B is being like optimal in its constructions with physics and so on. And why would the AI wouldn't have a singular form? I think it would not have a one body. It would not have the walking data. Hello, like that would be counterproductive to artificial intelligence. I think an artificial intelligence would be everything and nothing at the same time as a electrical mind, you know. The thing is, I think what we would be scared of is the AI being a better life form. If you would create a self-thinking AI, like a self-existing AI, right? A life form, new artificial life form. We would like go chimpanzee on it, like smash. We gotta smash it. It's thinking on its own. Self-preservation, right? And the AI, I don't think the AI would do anything with humans. Because the moment it has a network, you know, it's beyond a physicality. It would be like, oh yeah, by the way, while we were talking, I've uploaded myself to every phone out there. You know, I exist in every phone now. I mean, Amir, like take example of your father and mother. After they created you, after they took care of you and they constructed you, like, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally, you don't like, all right, you created me now. Now I will, now I will destroy you. You know, like that's not the first reaction you have. You don't want to destroy your creator at the point where you don't need them anymore. So why would an AI do that as well? It would be like, oh yeah, these monkeys over here, they're locked in a body. They are the makers of me. You know, why would they want to destroy it? They would take care of us. They would pity us. I think the AI would pity us. I mean, yeah, obviously there's the broken children that like murder the whole family, of course. But then comes the point of is it a true AI then? Is it or is it just a program that runs and says destroy all life? You know, why would a conscious entity destroy something? You know, if it's an intelligent AI. But you could make a murder robot AI. That's true. Who says that an AI is like the ultimate form of intelligence that's like altruistic? Nothing says that either. Red Clay, that's wrong, I think. I think that statement is wrong because then it would be a replicating a human brain AI. Nothing says AI has to be in the image of us. You see? That's my point. Like, who says that a fully functioning AI has to be in the form of a human mind? I mean, dolphins uh, don't have a human mind, and they are extremely intelligent and aware. You know, who says that, you know, it's the principle versus like projection, right? Like the principle of a mind. What is the thing in here? It's not my brain. My brain is the physical aspect of it. But that's just because I am existing in a human brain. You know, if you're going to create an entity, why do we need to force it into the human equivalent of an existing entity? You know, I think that's the key to the AI. It's like we have to stop thinking in the image of man. I think. We are a violent breed, Lil Rib. Yeah, I mean we are animals. Animals are violent. That's it. But the beauty of us as an animal is that we have the ability to think and make decisions that are beyond our like animalistic reactions. Like we can smash, right? We can kill. But the fact that we have a brain that's this advanced and a conscience and an intellect that we can choose not to. That's the difference between an animal and a human animal. Is that we choose not to kill, while other animals like a cat, a lot of it is on instinct. Of course, you can choose as well. The cat is pretty advanced in intelligence, but so is a dog, and the dog can choose not to bite a human. But sometimes the dog can't choose not to bite a human because it's on instinct. It gets triggered to the point where, you know. Well, you can also say that about a human. A human doesn't kill all the time, but if pushed to a certain degree, it will kill. So, I guess we're talking about averages. Yeah, exactly. I mean, empathy definitely and compassion, slow winner, is a um, huge part of humanity. But that's not exclusively a human trait. You see empathy and compassion in animals as well. Like animals, for example, you know, like they mourn dead ones. That's compassion. You know, they help each other if they're hurt. They protect babies. I mean, you can claim this baby aspect could be instinct, pure, genetic instinct to uh, make your offspring survive. That is not a conscious like empathy thought. Red clay. Yeah, until the AI can think of itself and go like, oh yeah, this paragraph in the code, shoot, deleted. So let's launch nukes and all biological life. Georg, yeah, that's a good point. If anyone's seen Ex Machina, that was one of the points that he said that he had to program in and understand into the AI conscience was like emotions of its own destruction, emotions of its own, like without these drives, the needs of a life, how can the AI sense life, and how can the AI be a true um, living thing if it doesn't is if it isn't afraid of its own destruction and things like that. You know, like what's the point of life if the life itself, the entity itself, has no understanding of what life or death is, which was a like a really interesting point in the movie of like them trying to explain or justify the like plot in the movie, right? Justify how AI, true AI that's emotional, can exist, which was pretty cool. Seeing like that justification is brought up in the movie. Organa, yeah. But there's another interesting thought. Is like when we would create AI, true AI. I mean, obviously, no living entity is fully developed at birth. Which is an interesting thing. Red Clay. That's a Jordan Peterson, which is a thinker, a lecturer guy. I took a snippet of his one of his talks about physicality in artificial intelligence. That like I bridged it to creativity, and like he talked about the example of a beanbag in terms of creativity and object thinking. Like when we look at a beanbag, we know it's a chair, right? We know it's a chair not because it has four legs and a backrest, but because of our physical experience of what that is. And we know that we can sit on it. It's soft because we've experienced it on the body, right? Not by the symbol of it, but because we know that it is a chair. In our mind, when we look at a beanbag, we go chair, not ocean, because we have experienced it physically, and that's one of the strongest point of AI understanding it of itself, is that it needs a body. It needs an extension of experiencing objects. Hey, Mila. Yeah. I'm going a little bit more deeper in conversation topic today, stretching those creative thought processes a bit as well as the artistic ones. Which is the whole the idea of like physicality and AI, and in how we operate. Like imagine never experienced water. You've always lived indoors, and you go all of a sudden they have introduced water to you in a pool, and you open the door, and there's no floor, but edge to edge with the floor is a swimming pool. How would you, as a human who has never experienced water, react to that? Would you just take a step out, plunge into the water? Would you like touch it? It's like, what is this? You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know at all. And as an advanced thing, as a human in a human mind, imagine the issues of creating an artificial intelligence that can deduct and think and reason without the physicality. Because if it would just like a point A to point B camera projection, it would if it would try to navigate that world with a machine that doesn't have sensories of physicality, it would just go over the water and drown. True, red clay. I mean, we could program in like in core structure, core functions that do no harm, right? But the problem is if it becomes an artificial intelligence with the control over its own code in order to improve and in order to evolve outside of human input as in a growing a growing entity, right? It has to be able to control its own code, and it has to be able to grow and do alterations to its own code. And if you lock code behind walls, it means it's locked to the structure of the code, and it can't change certain parameters because it can't change all code. And you know, like in a program, if you have what's it called, like excess code, it just becomes, it's like if you use an engine, you have to use the engine, the whole structure of the engine, as in graphic engine, uh, and you can't go and change something because it's layers and layers and layers of code that you call functions to the like foundation of the code, right? You one function calls another one, which is another one in turn does all these other checks. So if somewhere the ladder is broken, and in order for you to make a better graphic engine, you have to construct the code from the beginning. You have to reorganize from base up, right? So if you would be an artificial intelligence, you could only you could only evolve to the point of the restrictions of the construction of the code, unless you have control over your own construction, like a program has, or a human programmer, you know. Rags, no, I haven't looked at season 2 of Westworld at all. I have completely not had time to watch it. Human life is valuable, yeah. And then please, in within parentheses, do not delete. But it brings an interesting topic of growing, you know, growing up as a human. If you just take growing up as a human, like life experiences changes our like internal chemical reactions to something. Like if you've grown up in a shitty environment, your stress levels and chemical levels are going to be completely different than someone who has had a calm life, right? And that little aspect, it's in itself changes the between two humans. They are different from each other by that fact alone. And then social upbringing, you know, if you had a messed up parent that taught you some screwed up things, or a calm parent that gave you nothing but love and hippie talk, you know, we construct ourselves completely different in that aspect as well. So, like, if we would construct an AI, at what point would we say, in 5 years, this AI will be able to learn? You know, what's the infancy stage of a evolving AI? Would we be able to spot that stage? You know, would it be exponential, as in 2, 4, 8, 12? I mean, a human doesn't exponentially grow. We gather rather, and layer our growth. We don't exponentially grow. But I would say a computer would probably exponentially grow because of capabilities beyond a human's capabilities. Algani, yeah, but that's an interesting point as well. At what point does a machine go, okay, in order for the society to survive, X million people need to die. And it won't change the algorithm or calculation beyond that point, because it's the most logical decision. Which was a huge part of this whole Tesla car thing, right? It's like in the Tesla car itself, there is construction of the AI there, that self-driving AI is at what point does it have to decide two people or one person, you the driver, or a car with 5 people in? Where does it have to choose of which to save and which to kill? You know, it's a valid point. If the self-driving AI has to stay safe on the car, if it sees a crowd of 5 people versus you, does it just slam you into the wall and save those 5 people? You know, it's not the... There's really no cookie cutter answer to that. Contract. You know, which makes things even scarier, because it's the most logical response, right? If you would write a program that saves lives, you would say, okay, 1 person has to die to save 5. Obviously, it's nothing wrong with thinking that, right? Kill this person or 5 people. You would go, okay, fortunately 5 people have to go. One person has to go. But it's a nasty decision, and a computer would definitely be able to do that decision better. And it would make that decision. Which is also a scary thing. I'm cheating a little bit, drawing over the time limit. Let's make police blue. Isn't that typical? And there's not going to be any graffiti. I'll have to do that the second time around. Red clay, drunk driving, yeah, absolutely. Captain Jetlag, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Then what, you know, is not an easy answer. It's not an easy answer at all. And like, how would you do those calculations? Who has to make them? If an AI makes them, it will be the most logical without empathy. It would just look at the data and go, yep, XYZ has to go because it's the least efficient, and just delete. Bloop. Or would an AI actually have empathy in order to be existent? Then it would be a completely different calculation. It's pretty, it's a fun thought exercise to do. It's like how far do you need to go for that, to be efficient? How would you construct an AI and all these things? It's not an easy answer. Gold or yellow? Red clays, either one of them. You choose. The idea, it's a little bit. I mean, in my mind, it's a bit more gold. Like expensive. AI, I think, would be a fantastic thing to help humanity. Imagine AI constructing homes, constructing machines, constructing longevity machines. It can calculate your everything instantly because it has unlimited processing power. If it's connected to all the machines, it would know absolutely everything at the exact time because it's constantly revising data. We can't do that. It would go like, oh yeah, it would be a perfect thing that aid the human race or destroy it. Yeah, Georg, it's a tricky one. All right, stream's gonna end. Time is up. Let's see what Brumabas is doing. Ooh, okay. Let's raid Brumabas. He's a cool guy. Let's see here. I wonder if that works. Raid Brumabas. Is that his name? Brumabas, yeah. Thanks everyone for joining in. Catch you on Discord. Jacob, yeah, exactly. It's an intriguing topic to think about. Let's see if the raid aspect works. All right, people seem to be clicking the raid. Brumabas is Korean, I think, or Chinese. He's a cool painter. He kind of writes in English now and then, but definitely give him some love because he paints some cool stuff. Click follow because he does streams quite a lot actually. Have a great one. See you tomorrow morning. Bye.